So now that we've learned how to adjust our picture and reset it back to its original settings, let's talk about like how can you really make it stand out inside of a document besides it just being a picture, and how can you provide stuff to the reader. So one thing I want to do is I want to go ahead and select this picture, and I'd like you to apply a picture style of bevel perspective. So pause the video here and see if you can find a picture style of bevel perspective and apply it. So the picture styles are actually in the middle of the picture format tab. So you have to be clicked on the picture and it says picture styles down here. You can create your own. Like you could apply a border to this. You could apply a picture effect of whatever you wanted to. So like I could go to bevel here and I could choose like bevel round, or maybe even, I do believe there's even a bevel perspective in here possibly. And you can do those things. But what we actually want to do is we want to apply a preset picture style of bevel perspective. So I'm gonna hit Control Z to go ahead and undo that. And then this double drop down menu right here for picture styles, all of these have names. So when I hover over them, you can see like simple frame black, those kinds of things. And we're looking to create a bevel perspective style. So right here, this is called bevel perspective. It applies a shadow, a bevel, it 3D rotates it, all of those kinds of things, and applies to the shape or to the picture. I also want to point out that right here, there's also an option for you to switch over to a smarter with pictures. So you can take this picture and convert it into a smarter with text and other images as well. So that's an option that's available in the picture format tab. The next thing I want you to do is I'd like you to actually crop this image. So cropping is where you're cutting out pieces of it. And you can choose what pieces you crop out of it, but I'd actually like you to crop it to a specific shape. So I'd like you to crop it to the teardrop shape. So if you could pause the video here and try and crop it to the teardrop shape, that'd be great. So cropping is over here on the size, and you can actually set the size by adjusting the height and width. So like I could type in 5 here and hit enter and it will adjust. And you'll see that when I adjusted the width, the height automatically increased to keep it proportional so it doesn't distort it like we talked about before. Underneath crop here though, I can click on crop and it'll give me like these black arrows that will allow me to choose what areas of the shape I want to get rid of, or what areas of the picture I want to get rid of. And then I can select crop and take it back. But underneath crop, there's actually even more options with this drop down menu. And that's where I can like fill it or fit it, or I can crop it to a specific shape. And we were looking to crop it to the teardrop shape. The teardrop shape is found in basic shapes. And when you hover over these, again, they all have names. And so I was actually asking for this one that looks kind of like a teardrop coming from the top right and down. So I'm going to go ahead and select this teardrop shape right here, and it will actually crop it and shape it to that shape. So that's kind of some of your cropping tools. The next thing I'd like to do is I would like you to take this image and I'd like you to flip it. So flipping it isn't rotating it. Rotating is something different. Flipping is where you're actually taking the image and you're completely reversing it. So I'd like you to see if you can take the image the way it is and flip it horizontally so that it's the teardrop actually will probably stay where it is, but the image will actually flip inside of it. So see if you can pause the video here and do that. All right, so let's see if the teardrop stays the way it is and to flip it. So this is a rotation piece, right? So I could go up here and I could rotate it, but this actually is not flipping it. This is rotating it 180 degrees, and that's not what I'm looking to do. Instead, I could also right click it, and you have a lot of options, like you can insert captions and wrap text and alt text and format and all these types of things. So I can hit format picture and I can get more options over here, giving me a dialog box, but that's not where I'm looking for either. I'm looking to rotate, and up in the arrange group, there's a rotate option with a little triangle and an arrow. And when I click that, I'm actually not looking to rotate it, I'm looking to flip it. But you can see here that there are flip and horizontal, vertical and horizontal flipping options. And when I flip it horizontally, it actually does move the teardrop shape. It not only moves the picture, but it flips it as well as the shape at the same time. So you can see that I can actually flip things up and down and left and right, which is a really great option. The last thing we're going to do in this video is we're going to go ahead and rotate this by exactly 22 degrees. So I would like you to rotate this by exactly 22 degrees. So pause the video here and try and do that. So to rotate this by 22 degrees, you go back up to rotation, because if you're rotating with the arrow key, you're not going to get the option to see how far you're rotating. So under rotation, up in the ribbon, you have more rotation options, and you can go there, and then in here you can see like I have height and width and rotate and scale and all these things. And right here under rotation, I can type in 22 as my degree. I don't have to type in the little circle for degree because it automatically knows it's measuring that. And then I can go ahead and click OK, and that will rotate it by exactly 22 degrees. So in the next video, we're going to talk about how to take this and make it more useful with the text inside the document, but also how to make it so that it works for disability issues.